Yeah. Can I do the other end? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good morning, all. The topic title of my presentation today, of our presentation today, rather, is exploring international student perception of the value of New Zealand postgraduate education. Just because we're in the industry, we practice it every day, we took time to go through this. It's under publication now. Now, research question. What value does New Zealand postgraduate education add to international students, personally and professionally? We have some other research questions leading to answering the question. Leading to answering the topic title, what are the international students' personal and professional goals when choosing to study in New Zealand? How do international students engage in the achievement of their personal and professional goals? How do international students perceive the support they receive from New Zealand higher education? And how do international students perceive the personal and professional values of their New Zealand postgraduate education experience? This is just a literature review somehow. This is an overview of New Zealand international student enrollment between 2013 and 2017. This is an overview of international student market for New Zealand between 2013 and 2017. Now, the research method we used was quantitative method, and we collected data from Auckland, being the biggest region where you have multitude of higher institutions. We didn't start until when we got the ethical approval, and we used convenience sampling to collect data, and data were collected from 3 universities in Auckland, 5 colleges running, 3 polytechnics and 5 colleges running postgraduate education in Auckland here. The demography of the participants is, we have 59 males, 104 female, and I think everything took out to about 160 something, I think, yeah. Now I'll go straight to the analysis and data that we collected before we started analyzing them. We set up questions, survey questions from the perspective of the goal of New Zealand coming to study, personal and professional goal. We combine that of personal and professional goal together here, and we ask them reasons you come to study in New Zealand. We're using 5 Likert scale, starting from important, not important, very important, and extremely important. Let me just go through a few questions. Get practical experience, the reason why they come to New Zealand, and some come to keep their family happy. Data we collected, we run a sort of mean, we calculated the mean for us to determine the frequency of their responses to the survey questions set to them. And we got the mean out, and we arranged it in order of, descending order. We got the standard deviation. And if you look at what we got there, you can see that get practical experience is one of the motivating goals why they come to New Zealand to run their studies. That's why we are 4.06 in the May. And if you look at it here, keep my family happy is the least. Some even come here without bringing their family here. So it's not about keeping, it's about getting the practical experience, getting the papers, and going back to their country to pick their kids or their family. Now, after that, we want to, because for you to achieve your goal for coming, you must do something. Nobody is going to do it for you. So we try as much as possible to get, how do you engage for you to be able to achieve your goal? We put some questions across to them, and start from, how often in your institution did you ask questions? You must ask questions to engage. Ask professors and advisors about your challenges, yes. Then here, got involved in domestic students. We try to find out, being an international student, do you participate in domestic? Of course, we don't have domestic, but some other schools have domestic students. We try to get that, because all this must be done for you to be able to achieve your goal. You can see here, 3.79 is the highest in terms of asking questions, and the least is getting involved in domestic school campus politics. Now, we try to analyze here now. We're looking at the goal when they come, and we want to see, after they have come and they are playing, what have they achieved? What is the outcome? So we try to do a sort of comparison from what makes me to come to New Zealand. After coming to New Zealand to study, what is my experience? So we draw up these questions, survey questions, and send it to them, asking them to what extent have you been able to, they said they are coming to attain critical thinking, become a philosopher. Have you become a philosopher now? We are trying to ask them. Thinking critically, yes, you can see the highest in terms of me, 4.06, most of them can think critically. You can see from what we teach them here. Learning to work in a cross-cultural, yeah, it's compulsory when you come to Otago. Multicultural, I'm black, my accent tells me where I'm coming from. But we relate together on educational basis. Now, we want to find out again, the list here says, acquire practical experience. They said they want to come and acquire practical experience. At the end of the day, do they acquire it? We can see it as lowest mean, 2.40. So at the end of the day, we try to compare the goal coming and the outcome for us to see where we need to work or put more pressure on ourselves or students to achieve their goal. We ask the question again, get practical, we look at it from here in terms of comparison, goal, professional, outcome. And we say goal, personal outcome. Remember at the start, we're looking for goal for coming personal, and we're looking for goal to achieve professional. So we divide it into two, and we look at it. This is what we got on the first, when we got the data. This is what we got when they have studied. You can see this. It says 4.06, and the outcome is 2.40. And now, the difference is negative, 1.6. Look at all this.
1 minute, Femi.
Okay, if you look at this, and you look at this in terms of goal personal, everything is positive. We're meeting it, even though it's insignificant. Here too. So what we found out from this research is, of all things that we need to take care of for students to have positive experience about New Zealand postgraduate education, is to give them more practical experience. Send them to industry, maybe assist them, whatever we can do for them to get better. And from my experience of what I'm teaching, I realize that they need that, especially when you talk about project management. We give them the simulation and everything in the class, but have they gone to the industry for them to get the practical experience? So that's our finding. I don't need to put it, but we anchor on this. Thank you.